Hi everyone, this is Sai. I have around 10 plus years of experience in A2 and I'm working in an MNC which is product based company. So let me share my screen. Please let me know if it is visible.
Yes,
Are you
I
seeing a
visible.
notepad? Yeah, thank you
Yes,
so
not
much. So this program is about Masters in Azure Data Engineering. So we had designed the course in such a way that if you are applying for a job, there will be different tools used in Azure Data Engineering site. So whenever we apply to a job, there should not be any deficiency or there should not be any uh, tool which is in data engineering and you don't know that and you can't keep that in resume. So we have designed this course so that an end-to-end a big data project in any company which is used, they can adopt this kind of technologies and they can go continue their work. So as per the course design, I hope you have received that. We'll be going with Azure technology, Azure Cloud. So we have something called, I'll just list out the things which we'll learn in this course first. Azure Data Lake Gen 2, Azure Blob Storage. We'll be learning Azure Key Vault. We'll be learning Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse. We'll be learning Azure Databricks, and we'll be also learning Python as part of this program. Whatever a data engineer needs, we'll be teaching that Python, data engineering, work related Python. Uh, we have something called a flavor of Python. We call it as PySpark. This also will be helping you to learn as part of this program. So these all things you will be learning as part of this master program, which is Masters in Azure Data Engineering. So if you search for any job in Azure Data Engineer site, you'll find all these things. And if you all these things in your resume, by the end of this training, you can attend interviews and you can claim a real-time experience of 3 to 5 years with the help of this knowledge. And you can apply for any jobs and you can clear the interviews. We'll also share some interview questions and some resume sample resumes for you for preparing the interviews. And we'll be having some couple of links we'll share with you for further learning if you wanted to crack the interview. But whatever we do in the program, that is a real-time work, you can adopt the same thing in your project and you can achieve your work. So 99% of the projects will be going with the same activities which we do in our training program. Okay, this is part of the course curriculum you'll be learning. And basically we'll start from the crash. Let's say regarding cloud, what is cloud computing, why we need cloud, okay, what are the benefits of cloud. So basic things will go, and we'll go with the architecture in Azure. Okay, why we chose Azure than instead of other clouds. So these kind of details we'll start with. We'll just give you the picture of the cloud, and then we'll go with big data. We'll see what is big data and why uh, it is high demand nowadays, and what is uh, why is this data engineering technology is booming. Even if you find in a recession time, for example, I'm just giving some real time example. If the people who are staying in US, I don't know if any one of you are staying in US now, but the people who are staying in US, there is a lot of recession going on. There is a huge boom for Java technology people. Every time when they find for any job, with people with Java technology background, they used to get very easily job with high salaries. But since last 6 months, the Java technology people, Java programming people, they are not even getting the job. They are keeping some proxies and they're going for data engineering jobs. There are plenty of data engineering jobs on Azure in the market. So people are uh, uh, trying to get the jobs on Azure with the help of proxies, and they're working with a good salary, good amount of salary. So this is what the market is now. So market is in huge demand for data engineers. So with this technology, there is 100% sure that you will be having a good job with a good amount of salary you'll get. The average salary you can expect for 3 to 5 years is about 10 lakhs in India. If you have around 3 to 5 years of experience in India, you can claim go for 10 lakhs above the package. And this is regarding the technology and the demand in this market. So let's start with some basic things, and we'll wind up the demo um, today a little early because it's a demo. We'll just see how you wanted to go, and I'll also understand how I should go with you in the way I'm teaching. Just to give me the feedback by the end of this class. Okay, let's start beginning with the cloud. So what do you mean by cloud here? What does cloud defines here? Or let me go with something called cloud computing. What is mean by cloud computing? Any idea? Just be interactive. Okay, we can have interactive sessions. It's not that I'm going to teach you and you'll be silent. We'll be having interactive session. We'll be having interview questions in between the classes. I'll be asking the questions so that we can all be interactive with each other. We'll go
It's like
slowly.
computing the data in the cloud.
Okay, computing
Uh,
data in the cloud. Okay, very good.
it's a
And
collection of it's a collection of remote services which is accessible over internet.
okay, remote connection serving over the internet. Okay,
Remote services.
yeah, remote services which will be available over the internet. Okay,
Yeah.
next. Let me say what is compute. First, let's
Processing the
define
data.
compute. Okay, processing the data. Okay, okay. Thanks for the responses. Like, let's see. Compute is a combination of your storage, okay, networking, okay, and the servers. Whatever the servers we have, all of these things which is available over the internet, which is available over the internet, we call it as cloud computing. Compute is a combination of these three things, and these three things are available over the internet. That's why we call it as cloud computing. So I said, like, over the internet, how can we get it? If you use Azure, okay, you can create a storage account over the cloud. That means not in the real sky cloud. That is not the case. Here, what they say is, I'm staying in Hyderabad and I wanted to create some storage account or some storage space. Like you have Gmail. When you create a Gmail account, you'll have some 15 GB storage space in the Google Drive. Have you seen that? When you create a Gmail account, they'll give some 15 GB free space for you for that particular Gmail account in the Google Drive location.
Yes, correct,
Have
correct.
correct? So in the similar way, we will be creating some storage over the internet for our office purposes, and that is not that is for us, we'll be seeing it is virtually. That means we can't go and touch that storage wherever we placed, because it is stored somewhere else in the in the world. I'm sitting in Hyderabad, and my business is of um, some e-commerce business. So I wanted to create some storage, some virtual machines, some networking, all these things I wanted to maintain. So I'll choose one of the area in the cloud, which might be in some South India data center or North India data center, even East US data center. So in the data center, my actual servers will be located, but with the help of this cloud, I'm able to create my storage account virtually, and they will allocate that actual space in that area. Okay, for example, if I choose East US as my region to host the server, okay, I'm creating by sitting at my home. I'll open Google, I'll open some URL which is of Azure URL. We'll be seeing that URL in some time, but I'll open that URL. I'll say create the resource of storage account, and it will be creating for me. Actually, in the backend, in the East US region, I have selected, right? So in this region, they'll allocate some space for me, some 500 GB if I choose, then they'll allocate some 500 GB space for me, and that is where my data will store. But we are not seeing that through with our eyes. We are just going with the portal and we are creating this. That's why we call it as virtualization, and we are saying you are getting all those compute resources over the internet. That's why we call it as cloud computing. Okay, if you wanted to give some definition to anyone, you can say it is a combination of storage, networking and servers which we are getting over the internet. That's why we call it as cloud computing. And let's discuss further. Every technology will have some architecture, yes or no? In every technology they'll have some kind of architecture. Even your project, that also they'll have some design for the project. Do you agree on that?
Yes, yes.
Right. So for Azure also we have different kinds of architecture. We have two kinds here, two kinds of architecture. One is logical architecture, second one physical architecture. So what is logical architecture, what is physical architecture, we'll understand little bit. Okay, let's go with some physical architecture. First thing, this is divided this is divided into two things here. One is regions, where you are hosting your data center. Then what is data center here? Collection of all your servers, we call it as data center. One is region, where we host our data center. And what is data center? Collection of the servers. Okay, where these servers are placed, we place them in racks. Let me show you some diagram. Let me show you from the Google itself, so that it will be more clear to you. Let me open this. Let me say what is racks. First of all, racks in data center. Let me go to images section. See this guy and these images, these are the servers they have kept. Okay, these are racks. One rack, two rack, three rack. So we have different kinds of racks available there. So this is how servers will be placed. If you are keeping for on-premise also, if your company has on-premise servers, they'll maintain a separate office location. They'll maintain all these kind of servers. They'll provide internet. They provide power facility. They even keep some ACs for cooling of these servers, as they will run 24 into 7. Okay, there will be dedicated team for checking all these things. So these things will be there. So these are called racks, and entire area we are seeing, right, some room kind of thing. This is similar to a data center. We call it as a data center. Okay, in a region there might be multiple data centers also present. Multiple data centers. So this is, for example, this is one data center. This image, you have couple of servers all packed in the racks, and entire room is facilitated with some power supply. Okay, this is one data center. So likewise, we have, in a region we'll have multiple data centers also. In Azure we have 90 plus regions like that. We have 90 plus regions. We have 90 plus regions in Azure. Okay, the place with multiple data centers, we call it as availability zones. We call it as availability zones. A place with multiple data centers, we call it as availability zones. So what is data center, guys? Here, what is a data center?
Collection of
Collection
servers.
of servers. Very good. So data center is a collection of servers, and a region is, it might be a single data center available or collection of multiple data centers, which is called as a region. So this is the physical architecture which is available for us in Azure. Let's go with logical architecture. In the logical architecture, you have something called tenant ID. This is your account, like you are logging with at the rate your name at the rate outlook.com or at the rate deloitte.com, at the rate valuelabs.com, at the rate microsoft.com. That is comes under this account, and below that you'll have something called management resource group for managing multiple accounts, and you have something called below that subscription. This is very important. Subscription. Subscription is similar to, you are having your mobile phone, you have a SIM card in that, you did not recharge, you did not subscribe to any plan. Will you able to call to other people?
No.
No, right? Because we haven't subscribed to any plan there. So subscription needs definitely some recharge, right? Some money in that. We have to allocate some money for the subscription. So in the similar way in the cloud also, we have to allocate some money for creating the resources in Azure. What is resource? Here I'll explain in a bit. We have three kinds of subscriptions. I can't say three, but we have, let's go with different kinds of subscriptions. Let me say what all kinds of subscriptions. One is free trial subscription, which you can be creating with your help of credit card or debit card. They will deduct 2 rupees from your debit card or credit card and will give you some 11,000 rupees for practicing in Azure. That is free trial subscription. Another one is student access subscription. Student access subscription. If you are a student in some recognized engineering college or university, then with your email IDs, you can create this student access subscription. You will be getting $100 and you'll be able to practice or by creating resources in the Azure. Free trial subscription is valid for 30 days. You'll get some 11,000 rupees, sometimes 12,000 also based on your card, but they will be deducting 2 rupees only. And student access subscription, they'll give $100 and you'll be having 1 year for enjoying this $100. But usually within 20 days only this $100 will be completed when you're learning. And this 11,000 rupees will be sufficient for you till 30 days. That is fine. And next kind of subscription, you have something called Visual Studio subscription. This subscription will give in offices to their employees for learning the Azure. They'll allocate some 3 to 10,000 rupees every month for their learning. Finally, we have something called pay as you go subscription. This is used by companies for creating their resource in the cloud. They will not be charged upfront the money. They'll be creating resources and after 1 month they'll send some credit card bill to them for asking to pay this amount. So every month they'll pay the amount with the help of pay as you go subscription. So these are the subscriptions you have. So as for our training, we need free trial subscription or student access subscription. If you have these two are enough for our training. In real time, they'll go with pay as you go subscription. This is what they'll go with, pay as you go subscription in all the projects. This is what the companies use. Okay, under the subscription, we have something called resource group. This is similar to, for example, we are all in a masters in data engineering class. So your all resources belong to masters in data engineering group. So likewise in engineering college, you will have CSC, EC, all these things. So students are, if I say someone, they'll say I'm from CSC background or I'm from CSC branch. So this branch is like a resource group. So all the students under that branch belongs to that CSC resource group. In the similar way, in Azure, we have something called resource group. For every project, they will create their own resource group like RG. So let's say our project is SAS and dev. This is my dev resource group. This is my production resource group. Prod. This is how they'll create the resource groups. Why they'll create the resource group? Because they wanted to club all the resources under that resource group. For example, I have in dev SQL database. I have virtual machine. I have private virtual network. I have something key vault. I have Synapse. I have Databricks. I have um, Data Lake Gen 2 storage account. So all these resource groups are clubbed together for this resource group, so that whenever a billing is happening, I can see which resource group is using more money, so that I can reach out to those people and say why it is using more money, what you are doing. So with the help of resource groups, I can find out which resource group is using more money, and with the help of the resource group name, I can find out which project is using that resource group. So that's why we have resource group. Under that resource group, finally we have resources. These are all the resources. Whatever you create in Azure, we call it as resource. Whatever you create in Azure, we call it as resources. Okay, any doubts till here?
Uh, Shine, just one question. Where we are
Yes.
managing the all the resource group?
Yeah, you will be managing in the portal, Azure portal. Let me show you the portal once. This is the portal for Azure, portal.azure.com. Once you create your account with in this portal.azure.com, you'll be able to log in like this. And these are all the resources. I can say these are all resources. Virtual machine, you can create web app, SQL database, anything. You have plenty of things available. Let me try to create one simple resource under a resource group. Let us try to create a virtual machine. Let me say create a resource, create a virtual machine. See, this is my subscription. My subscription is Visual Studio subscription I have, and I said resource group, right? This is the place where resource group is available. Create a new resource group. Let me say visual. Always prefer with the lowercase. Visual new. This is my resource group name I have given. Now I am creating a virtual machine. VM. East US is a region where I am hosting my this virtual machine will be stored in East US region. I said availability zones for us. Just now ignore these things. Come to this image. Which type of image? Which OS you want in your virtual machine? I'll say Windows Server 2019. This OS I wanted. Give the username password for that virtual machine now. Okay. In order to log in into your system, you have some password, right? In the similar way, in order to log in into the virtual machine, it will ask us a password and username. I'm giving the username and password here. For now, ignore all these things. Just review and create. When there is actual class, I'll teach you how to create and what all these things in a brief way. See, I have created a virtual machine and it is costing me 3 rupees 46 paise per hour. For every hour, the billing goes and they're charging me 3 rupees 46 paise. Let me create that virtual machine. Let me create that. while it is creating, you can see what all it's going to create. So it is creating the VM in the final step. So let me ask you a question while this virtual machine is creating. Why we need a virtual machine? First of all, what is virtual machine? Let us go in from the basic. What is virtual machine?
I think it acts as an interface that basically we use to operate or use like a different operating system inside the system we have or the computer we're working on.
Uh, yes, Nida. Um, it's just a virtualization of an actual computer. Okay, you have a
Correct.
physical computer. You are just using this with the help of this virtual machine. You can configure the same configuration. Like I can have 16 GB memory, IT processor, or I can have 500 GB storage. Everything. It's like a physical computer only, but it's available in the virtualization or the cloud.
Right.
Okay, and why
So
we
we
need
can
that?
also run the yeah we can run the multiple operating systems environments.
For example, I created a virtual machine. Did I went with multiple operating systems when I'm creating it? When I'm creating this virtual machine, I choose some image, right? Operating system. What is this operating system? Windows. Did I went with multiple?
No.
No. Then why we need this? So let's take some
Maybe
real time
for
example. Yeah, please go on. Please go on. Please go on.
you can go ahead. I was just gonna make a guess.
No worries. It's I just wanted to hear. So we all came for learning. It's not. Uh, don't think anything. Yeah, just say it.
I was just gonna say just to do for testing purpose.
Yes, for testing purpose. Okay. Uh, yeah. In a real time use case, let me say some example. I work for a project which is uh, of New Zealand government. So they don't wanted to send the data out of their country. First of all, they don't wanted to send their data out of their country. So they created some virtual machine. They have installed the softwares. So when we log in into that virtual machine, then we can connect to their servers. Then we can test the data. Though I am in India, that virtual machine is located in New Zealand. You get it? That machine which I am created. See, this virtual machine is in US now. This virtual machine which is running, it is in US. It is not in India. I am sitting in my place and I'm logging into that virtual machine and I'm working for the US government or US projects. In the similar way, when we work with the New Zealand project, they created the virtual machine. They have all that security setup, that private virtual network, all these things. They gave me username, password. So with the help of that, I logged in. I can't even bring anything from that virtual machine to my computer, my physical computer. I can't even copy anything. I can just work for them. I can close that laptop. That's it. Instead of sending them a laptop from New Zealand to India, configuring all the security configurations, they are giving me virtual machine over the cloud so that I can work from any place securely. Okay, am I making sense, guys?
Can you hear me?
Let's.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, please. Yes, I can hear you. Please go on.
I was just acknowledging.
Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to connect to this virtual machine. How can we connect to the virtual machine? Let's see now. I have something called connect. You should download this RDB file. Once you download this RDB file, click on it. It will open. You need to give your username password. While creating the virtual machine, I gave some username and password. So admin 16 is my username and I gave the password now. I just said yes. I'll log in to this. So inside my physical machine, and another virtual machine has opened. Another virtual laptop has been opened with Windows OS. I can go with Linux OS. I can go with Ubuntu OS. I can go with different OS. In this virtual machine, I can continue my work. Just it is loading. Yeah, the virtual machine has logged in. I can install any software and I can connect to my data. I can work with my data. When I try to connect to that server from my machine, it will be able to connect. If I log into this virtual machine and connect only, it will be able to connect. That kind of security features they will allow us. So that's why it is very secure when you work with virtual machines. And in a project, you can connect with at the same time there will be 3 people you can able to connect to that virtual machine, and they will be allocating for each of us something called a bastion. It's similar to a virtual machine. Let me go with here. I'll show you that also. Right, connect via bastion. So these also we can able to connect. So people can work, login into that machine. They can work. They can do their work, and once the work is done, they can shut down this machine. The data will be stored. Whatever you keep, some files, everything will be stored. It will not be any damage to them, but it will be quite secure because you are logging into this location. See, the time zone is something around 48. I don't know which time it is running now. Let me log in here and see. Saturday 4:08 a.m. Universal UTC time. This is, you can change the times according to you, and you can work as it is. So this is the virtual machine. You can install the softwares. You can clean up once you are used. So for the billing side, I just turned off that virtual machine, but I did not stop the virtual machine. So until it is running, this virtual machine is running in the backend. So until it is running, there will be cost occurring for me. Okay. If I stop this, then there will not be any cost for your hardware, whatever CPU you have and whatever the configurations you have, there will not be any cost. Only cost will be, you have used 1 GB in that virtual machine. For that 1 GB only they will charge you the amount, because you are using that. Though your machine is shut down, your storage is being used. You have some files in that virtual machine. For that storage they will be charging you money. It is very little amount compared to the on-premise one, but they will be charging some amount. So once your work is done, when you're doing the program, when you're doing the training, once your work is done, try to delete the resources. Click on delete the resources, so that it will save your money. Whenever you wanted to practice again, create the resources. Which all resources you have to delete is virtual machine, and when you're going some data warehouse, that you have to delete. SQL database, it is fine, you can keep it. Synapse, you can find it is, you can keep it. Data factory, it is fine, you can keep it. Data like Gen2 storage account, you can, it is fine, you keep it until you have less data. But these virtual machines and some dedicated SQL pools, data warehouses, those will cost us huge, so don't keep them. So I'm deleting a virtual machine as well here. So I'm stopping sharing. This is just a demo for us today. If you have any doubts, you can post me. You can have any questions, you can ask me, and we'll be continuing the class from
Hi,
yeah, please go on.
this
Someone,
course.
Abhinav, just a minute, Raj. Someone message, can we create multiple sub accounts under root account subscription? Yes, you can create. Yes, you can create. You can create multiple subscriptions in an under account. Okay, root account is, let's say you are working in a Google. You are working in Google. Google has Gmail. Google have YouTube. Google have something else. Okay, so the employees who are working in that Google, though they are belongs to, so though Gmail is belongs to Google, okay, they'll have their own email IDs, right? At the rate gmail.com, at the rate youtube.com. So likewise they'll have, right? Though people working in Microsoft, at the rate microsoft.com, when they go with Outlook, they'll have at the rate outlook.com. Okay, when they go with other things, they'll have their own domains. So main parent is different. You can have multiple subgroups with different domain names under that main account. So Google is parent, and at the rate gmail.com, at the rate youtube.com, these are again subdomains you can maintain. If someone like say someone I have removed from youtube.com, at the rate youtube.com, I have removed that employee. So will it affect Gmail? Will it affect Gmail users if
No.
I remove someone from YouTube? No, right? So in the similar way, they will, though they are all belong to Google, they'll maintain different domains. and under the domains they'll have the subscriptions. So that is how the architecture is, Abhinav. If we want, we can discuss further in the next class about this in detail way. So you are saying, so how can I give access to multiple developers in Azure? You can give access to multiple developers. That is not an issue. When you go with some Synapse, you wanted to give all your team members access. That is possible. We have something called access control, similar to IAM in Azure. We can give there. Multiple developers can access. That is not a problem. Yeah, Raj, please go on.
Sai, this course is for the beginner or expert as well?
Okay, we'll start from the beginning. Okay, we'll start from the basics because the people who are joining, they might not have complete background about Azure or cloud anything. So we'll start with basics, then we'll enter into the uh, little advanced level. So whatever we develop the pipelines or whatever that we design the things, that is similar to a real-time project. So you can use the same logic in your real-time project also. So from basics we'll teach, we'll enter into advanced section also. So it's a combination of all the people.
Are you going to cover the bulk volume of data processing through the Kafka?
Sorry.
Are you going to cover the live data streaming as well?
Yeah, you will be connecting multiple sources and you're getting data into that data lake. You'll be having a tool which will be designing us. We'll be developing pipelines which will go and collect data from your SQL server on premise or from your laptop. Also will connect, you'll get files from your laptop automatically to the cloud. So these kind of things we'll do. We will be loading into in the data warehouse or SQL database in the end, or data like Gen2 only. On top of that we can create queries to see the data. Yeah, is that am I is that what you are expecting? Am I answered, did I answer your question?
No, I am looking for the live streaming data through the Kafka connector, where
Oh,
data is
okay,
processing
okay,
or data is coming.
okay. We are going completely on Azure tools. Okay.
Even Kafka is also the part of Azure.
It's a third party tool. Kafka, Apache Kafka, it's a third party tool for the Azure. You can have that
No,
Kafka in
no,
AWS, you can have Kafka in Azure.
no. Suppose the Azure data is coming in Azure Kafka server. Uh,
Hmm.
so, is there any way to consume the data or
No, that part we
processing
are
the
not
live data?
going. We will go with Azure streaming. We have a concept called Azure streaming. We'll go with that streaming thing. We're not going with Kafka here. So not all projects require real-time streaming data, right? Out of some 100 projects, you might find one or two which might need the streaming ones. But if type puppets, I'll teach something on Azure streaming, not on Kafka. Okay, is it fine, Raj?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Yeah. Um, Anyone? Do you have doubts?
So the duration, the timings of the class.
Yes, TV. So I just wanted to know how it will be. Is it possible for all you to join in the evenings around 7 to 8 in the evening?
Could you mention the timing in accordance to what you're referring? Is it for India, like PST,
Indian,
or
yes, yeah. IST 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST.
that would be morning here, right?
Yeah, it will be morning for you before you leave to office or somewhere around 7. Which location you are? US.
I'm in LA.
Okay, so it will be
I
some.
use Yeah. If it yeah, it's kind of hard early because I already have classes in the morning.
Mhm, mhm.
So if you guys can make it evening, that would be great. But if not, then I'll just
So
have
this
to.
time is suitable for you till at
Yeah, this
9
works.
9 a.m.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay,
Yeah, I
and
just don't want to be.
others?
I don't. Yeah, I know there are other people here that might have issues with the timing. So if majority of the people are comfortable taking the class in the morning, then I can just work around it, I guess.
Yeah, sure, Nida. So others, what about you? Will this 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. time suits you, everyone, or you wanted evenings? Just say some time, guys. What is suitable
Morning
for
is
you? 9 a.m.
fine.
9 a.m. to
Yeah.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Others?
yeah, regarding the timing, I have a question. My name is Samir. Just want to what time you mentioned? Said 7 a.m. the Indian Standard Time.
Uh, yes, Samir. I proposed two times. Two timings. Like one is the same time, which is like 9 a.m. IST to 10 a.m. IST. This time, which we join now the call. That is one time. And the second time I proposed is um, we can go at evening 7 p.m. IST to 8 p.m. IST.
Yeah. So yeah, let me check with that. Uh, what the possibility is there. I'll definitely get back to you on that.
Yeah, sure. You can inform the organizer. I hope you're in touch with them.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So I'll
yeah,
I'll talk to her. Okay.
yeah, they'll reach out to you. You can give update about your timing, suitable time,
Hmm.
so that we can accommodate major by major or based on the majority. We can schedule it one time. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you have no doubts, then we can wind up the session, guys. If you have
So
anything, please ask me.
Nida Imran, do you have any question?
Oh no, oh, this was a
Yeah.
good session. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. And Imran, are you there?
Uh,
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have any question?
No, I don't have. Thank you, Samir.
So no worries. Yeah. So well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining the call, and really appreciate for that.
Thank you so much for your time, guys,
Thanks. Bye bye.
yes.
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye bye, guys.
And
Thank you.
for
Bye.
M,
Bye. Take
there
care.
will not
Take
be
care.
any Azure accounts. We will be providing free accounts. We will help you to create free accounts, guys. Okay, we'll help you
Okay.
to create free accounts. We'll help do that. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
What's the
Thank you.
duration of the course?
It will take as we are going with some Synapse. Usually in the market they'll go with Synapse and Data Factory as one course. They'll be teaching Python and Databricks as another course. So, but we designed in such way that we'll cover all these things and in an efficient manner. So we need at least 45 days of your time, 1.5 month.
Okay. And how much time you're giving for the Python
For the pipeline part, we'll be spending around near to 3 weeks. We'll be spending on time on that.
on Python?
Yes, on
Okay.
the pipeline
Fine.
section, we'll be spending near to 3 weeks. We'll be covering all the topics related to pipeline. We'll focus more on the pipeline side. Then on the Azure Databricks side, we'll be focusing on whatever we need to maintain our work, whatever we need to sustain there in the market, that we'll be teaching. So
Okay.
majority focus will be on the pipelines. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it will be
SQL side,
completed in 45 days, right? So all the topics.
yes, all the topics we'll be completing in 45 days. Okay. If there is anything, if I wanted to spend some extra time with you, I'm always welcome. We can have doubt clearing sessions. We can have project discussions, mini project discussions, that I'll be spending time with you. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So
Yeah.
weekends you'll not be
And
taking classes, right?
from we'll be focusing from Monday to Saturday, if everyone agrees. Else we'll be focusing from Monday to Friday. But for some days, if you are available, then we can go with Saturdays also, so that we can have more time with you. We can cover up the topics in an efficient manner, so that it will not be like so many months. It will not take, right? If you cover like 6 days a week, it will be good for you. But if initially, if you want for some times not to cover, go with the weekends until you are familiar, then we are good. 5 days a week we'll go for 2 weeks. Then we can think about the Saturday sessions.
And you'll be sending the recordings once the class is over, correct?
Definitely, definitely. Yes, you'll receive the recordings.
And if you do the, I mean, the certification is, I mean, more weightage added to this one if we do this certification for the Azure Data
Yes,
Engineer Associate.
yes, yes. If you come, I'll guide you how to crack that certification. I'll guide you how to do that. But if you have that certification, no, it will be definitely an add-on for you.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay. Then thank you very much. I think if anybody doesn't have any questions, I think we're good.
yep. Thank you all. Thank you.